Alright guys, today's June 19th and we got a few things to talk about today, including an update on the US heat wave, a new surge in heat wave across southern Europe, and an update on the tropical system in the Gulf of Mexico. So starting off today with the HRRR model, looking at the high temperatures across the northeastern United States today, with this continued heat wave across portions of the eastern United States. So looking at high temperatures for today, it's pretty much 90s all across the board unless you live along the immediate coast. We're talking 90s way up into Ontario and Quebec, Canada also. But it looks like the hottest areas will be across portions of the eastern Ohio Valley with mid 90s all across Ohio, portions of Kentucky, western West Virginia, Pittsburgh area also mid 90s today. And also another hot area will be right along the I-90 corridor of upstate New York and along the Hudson River Valley. Basically from Albany southward towards a little bit to the north of New York City. We're talking upper 90s there across the Hudson River Valley. Potentially 99 today in Albany, New York. Maybe a chance of hitting 100 today in Albany. Also mid 90s across, like I said, the I-90 corridor going all the way westward to Syracuse. And then also along the Connecticut River Valley, we're talking mid 90s today. Portions of eastern Massachusetts, including Boston. Southeastern New Hampshire, we're talking mid 90s today. Even getting up to the mid 90s and across as far north as Burlington, Vermont. Mid 90s possible across inland eastern Maine. Something you don't see very often. And also low 90s, maybe a touch of mid 90s, as hot as 94 degrees possible today across the big cities of southern Canada, including Quebec City, Ottawa, and Montreal. And then going into tomorrow, June 20th, a cold front starts to move in from the north, so that helps cool down much of Canada and northern New England and upstate New York. Temperatures down into the 80s. And all these little bubbles you see in the temperature forecast are thunderstorms that are developing along that cold front. But ahead of that cold front, we still have extremely hot temperatures across the eastern Ohio Valley tomorrow. Very hot, actually. We're talking upper 90s possible for places like Columbus, Dayton, even I see a 100 there potentially for Cincinnati tomorrow, maybe even Charleston, West Virginia, Eastern Kentucky potentially getting near 100 degrees. We have a 99 there for Pittsburgh tomorrow, and also the Hudson River Valley still extremely hot tomorrow. Albany still forecast there in the upper 90s according to the HRRR model. Also the Connecticut River Valley still extremely hot. Hartford, Connecticut, Springfield, Mass. Upper 90s possible tomorrow. Still mid 90s there across Boston, southeastern New Hampshire. Also much of Maine still in the low to mid 90s tomorrow. And also we're still talking 90s all across the mid-Atlantic region, including DC and Philadelphia. And then moving southward a bit, still 90s all across the board for today, June 19th. Basically all across the Carolinas, the South, the Tennessee Valley, all hitting the 90s today. And then looking at tomorrow, June 20th, same thing for tomorrow. Even a little hotter across the Tennessee Valley tomorrow with mid 90s tomorrow. Mid 90s tomorrow across the Tennessee Valley, including Nashville, and still 90s all across the board from the Carolinas to Georgia and Alabama. And then next up, I want to talk about the European heat wave that's occurring right now across southern and southeastern portions of Europe. We're looking at the 500 millibar height anomalies, showing where the ridges are and the troughs. The upper level ridges are in the orange color, and the troughs are in the blue and purples. And then each one of these lines is what's called an isohypsy, or a line of equal geopotential height. And once you get lines of 591 DMs, that's telling you where you have a pretty intense upper level ridge in place, or a heat dome. And as you can see, this is for this afternoon on June 19th. We have the 591 line here coming across North Africa, going into portions of Italy. And then we even have a 594 line showing up across portions of Tunisia, going into southern Italy and Sicily. So we have a pretty strong upper level ridge in place that's going to be causing this hot weather. And as we go into tomorrow, notice that 591 line pushes for a little bit further north into the Balkans, and the 594 line moving there across southern Italy, central and southern Italy, and going into portions of the far southwestern areas of the Balkans there, basically from Albania up to Croatia. And this whole thing just keeps on moving to the east and just sits there for a few days before it finally breaks down a bit this weekend, which will bring an end to the extreme heat. And then looking at max temperatures from the European model, starting off with tomorrow on June 20th, notice how we have extremely hot weather all across the Balkans and portions of Italy and even into Sardinia. We're talking temperatures all across the lowlands of Italy, getting close to 40 degrees Celsius, including places like Rome. Definitely over 38 degrees Celsius, I would say, or close to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Also, portions of Sicily and Sardinia getting close to 40 degrees Celsius or 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Also, today or tomorrow, I should say, along the coast of the Balkans from Greece up towards Croatia, getting over 35 to 40 degrees Celsius or 95 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. And also, a very hot area tomorrow will be along the border of Bulgaria and Romania, getting close to 40 degrees Celsius there, including Bucharest, Romania. If any of my followers know, is it pronounced Bucharest or Bucharest? I would really like to know that because I don't want to pronounce it wrong every time. Anyway, and then going into Friday, June 21st, high temperatures. We're still talking extremely hot for portions of southern and central Italy there. Getting close to 40 degrees Celsius once again for places like Rome. Also, especially along that eastern coast of Italy, I think that area has the best chance to get over 40 degrees Celsius. Also, extremely hot there across portions of the Balkans, from basically around the borders of Serbia, Hungary, Croatia, and Bosnia. Places like Belgrade and Budapest could easily get over 35 degrees Celsius tomorrow, or 95 degrees Fahrenheit. And then moving into Saturday, the cold front starts to move in, so that helps cool down portions of Sardinia and central Italy. But southern Italy is still getting close to 35 to 40 degrees Celsius. Also, extremely hot Saturday across the central Balkans. We're talking potentially 38 degrees Celsius or about 100 degrees Fahrenheit for Belgrade, Serbia. Also, once again, across southern Romania and eastern Hungary, getting close to 35 to 38 degrees Celsius. So, extremely hot weather over the next few days there before it starts to cool down a bit as that ridge breaks down, like I just showed, by the end of this weekend or by around June 23rd. And then lastly, I want to show newly formed Tropical Storm Alberto in the western Gulf of Mexico, the first named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season. Now, it's a very weak tropical storm, and it's probably going to stay like that all the way to landfall overnight tonight across eastern Mexico. But the main thing will be the rainfall out of this. This is the European model forecast of showing the rain. We have a large shield of rain on its western side, going as far north as much of coastal Texas, even as far north as Houston, and perhaps even Austin, Texas, get into this shield of rain. And as we go into tonight and overnight tonight, that very large shield of rain moves into much of Mexico and southern Texas. Now, Mexico has been dealing with a very extreme heat wave over the past few months, very extreme drought conditions there too, so they really need this rainfall. Although perhaps not this much in this little time, we could easily be, and with the dry ground, we could easily be talking about flash flooding across eastern Mexico. And then going across the mountains tomorrow, we could be easily talking about some major landslides and mudslides possible there across central Mexico before the majority of that rain tends to move out by Friday. And then looking at rainfall totals from the European model, is showing easily getting close to 4 inches of rain across southern Texas there. Definitely over 4 inches, perhaps even as close to 4 to 8 inches of rain there across eastern Mexico, or over 100 to 200 millimeters of rainfall. Actually, honestly, I think we could easily get over 200 millimeters of rainfall or 8 inches of rain across eastern Mexico. And with the dry ground, like I said, I think a major flash flooding problem could be occurring tonight and tomorrow across eastern Mexico. And like I said, we have to watch for landslides across central Mexico along the mountains there. Also, southern Texas, including Laredo, Brownsville, Corpus Christi, you guys should be on alert for potential flooding out of this, as you could easily be getting 4 inches of rainfall or more from Alberto tonight and tomorrow. So just something to keep an eye on. And with that being said, that's all I have for today. Hope everyone stays safe with the heat and portions of the U.S. and Europe, and also with the flooding there in Mexico with Alberto. Hope you have a good one, guys. I'll see you next time.